The tourism industry has a problem and nobody's talking about it. It's called fam trips. Now, I've watched luxury safari operators give away $10,000 experiences and get nothing in return. I've seen community tourism projects fail because the tour operators who could help sell those products were on their phones playing Candy Crush. And I've watched countless partnerships dissolve because we're afraid to have an honest conversation about value between tour operators and travel agents. It's not a lack of amazing destinations. I've tracked mountain gorillas in Rwanda and helped develop tourism policies in Sri Lanka. It's not a lack of dedication. I've been there alongside passionate community leaders in Eswatini and safari companies across East Africa. The problem is the way we think about fam trips, and it's costing both sides of our industry millions in lost opportunity. The free fam trip model is broken. It's undermining your business, whether you're a travel advisor or a destination or a host. So let's see what's going wrong. Let me start by sharing about a recent luxury safari fam trip in Uganda. 17 incredible days, mountain gorillas in the misty forest, chimpanzees swinging through the canopy, golden monkeys in bamboo forests, boat safaris through winding channels. A dream trip, normally costing thousands in permits alone. The host offered it nearly free, just covering fixed costs. All they asked for in return? Some photos to promote the experience. Now, those photos, they didn't arrive for months. The host had invested time, connections, resources, but without skin in the game for the travel agent, the promised deliverables kept sliding. But why? When something's free, we blind ourselves to the real costs. Let me break this down. First, in this instance, we had the host's time. Now, I'm not just talking about sending a few emails. It's first the weeks of careful planning, coordinating with local guides, arranging special access to community experiences, and really orchestrating dozens of moving pieces to create the seamless experience that is any tour or fam trip. But let's think about what that network of connections really is. What about that guide who knows exactly where to position you for that perfect golden light over the savannah? It's that community elder who shares stories passed down through generations. These are relationships that take years to build, years of trust and communication, mutual respect. Can't put a price tag on that. And for both parties, there's of course opportunity cost. There's a room that could have gone to a paying guest. That week, the host could have spent developing new products or at a travel fair. The time you could have actually been selling to clients instead of chasing free experiences. Marketing momentum gets killed too. When deliverables are delayed for months like those photos, we miss booking seasons. Those photos could have captured clients' imaginations. They're just sitting on someone's hard drive while competitors are closing sales. But here's the fundamental problem. It's a lost opportunity for partnership. Because when we frame these trips as free or almost free, we're not just missing out on money, we're missing out on something far more valuable. Collaboration between professionals who respect each other's investment and expertise. Which brings me to my next point, the power of genuine engagement. Now let me tell you a bit what happened in Eswatini in Southern Africa when we tried to connect tour operators with local community. Part of a development project involved organizing fam trips in Eswatini, the goal of which connect local tour operators with new community products. It was meant to be a stepping stone to an international pitch session. Operators from Europe and Africa and Australia would be there. Golden opportunity, right? But during the community presentation, heads were down in phones. The tour operators had few questions about how to integrate these new products with what they were already doing. There was almost no engagement with the community members. Why? Because the tour operators were there to be able to get to the pitch session later on in the week. They hadn't invested in anything but time. When you don't invest, you don't really engage. Because real engagement isn't just about being physically present. It's about being mentally and emotionally invested. When people pay for a seat at the table, they show up different. I've watched this play out time and time again in tourism workshops across Asia and Africa. So how should it look? You should be there hearing the community stories as you seek to understand how these experiences could transform your clients' perspectives and their trips. You don't just note down prices, though those are important, but you explore how to position these experiences in the market. You think about your clients, matching experiences to faces and name, and this level of engagement creates a ripple effect. The questions become more strategic. How can we make this experience accessible for older travelers? Or what's the best season to combine this with other highlights in the region, like hiking or rafting? How can we tell this story in a way that respects the community while exciting our clients? These aren't just nice to have insights, they are the building blocks of a successful tourism partnership. And finally, let's be honest, spending money is scary. Spending money on business development, it's even scarier. With a vacation, you know what you're getting. 7 days on the beach are guaranteed. With a fam trip, the return isn't guaranteed. You're betting on yourself, on your ability to turn that experience into future bookings. But here's what I've learned about that fear. It can be your greatest ally. When you invest your own money into a fam trip, something transformative happens. Instead of just showing up, you start planning weeks in advance. You research the destination more carefully, you identify identify which clients would love each experience, and you start to create those marketing plans before you even step on the plane. That investment changes how you show up on the ground too. You're not just passively touring properties, you're actively building relationships with those partners. You're asking detailed questions about transfer times and seasonal variation. You're thinking about how each experience would work for different client types. You're gathering the kind of deep, nuanced knowledge that sets you apart from online booking engines and AI. And after the trip, that investment keeps motivating you. Those follow-up emails don't just sit in your drafts folder for months. Those social media posts don't get perpetually postponed. You're driven to turn your investment into returns, and that drive shows in everything you do. Your enthusiasm becomes genuine, your knowledge becomes deeper, and your clients can feel the difference. So let's talk about what a real partnership looks like. It's not just about transactions and showing up to meetings with your head in your phone. It's about building relationships that weather those ups and downs of the industry, because there are going to be ups and downs. When both sides have invested in that relationship, something fundamental shifts. The conversation changes from what can you give me for free to how can we create value together? When you win, I win. When I win, you win. Suddenly you're not just another travel advisor in their database. You're a business partner they know that is serious about selling the destination. You're someone who understands the value of their time, the local connections, the expertise that they've built. This mutual respect transforms the relationship. When you need that last-minute favor for a VIP client, you're not just another email in their inbox asking for a handout. When they have a new experience to showcase, you're at the top of the list for the invite, because now you're both invested in each other's success. That's what a real partnership looks like in sustainable tourism. Now, I'm not saying all free fam trips are bad. Sometimes a travel agent brings so much value that covering the trip makes business sense. Sometimes a product is so new or so different that it's more important to get advisors that first educational experience than to charge them for it. But here's what I am saying. We need to be clear about costs and investments and time. We need to be invested in each other's success. We need to understand the true value of what we're exchanging and what we're hoping to get out of it. Because sustainable tourism isn't built on freebies, it's built on mutual investment and respect and understanding.